Okay, so here's the kiln. Here's one of the YoLink devices. In this corner, it tells the temperature and humidity. Here's one of the cheap little heaters I use. The Brighton 400 watt heater. And then on this side, same thing, another device. And then there's these plugs down here where you can turn on and off things, or you can let the app do it. And dehumidifier. This thing is not set up right now like I was doing it. I just had the heat cycle, so everything's shuffled around, but you get the picture. So this is a picture of the YoLink hub itself. You just put this where you have a Wi-Fi connection and then connect it up to control the other devices. Here's the YoLink device I'm going to use for wet bulb temperature. Right here I'm just doing it on the counter because I haven't actually run a cycle with it in the kiln. One thing to note on these temperature sensors, they only go up to 158 degrees, so if you're going to really be pouring the coals to it, they're probably not going to work. So here in the app, I'm going to show you how I do my automation. Right here, the dehumidifier and heater that you see, this was actually one of those switches that I hit. The switch itself controls two plugs, so when you push the button in the kiln, it'll turn them both on or off, but from the app, you can control them individually. So right here, I'm going to go into that left temperature and humidity gauge. You can click through the charts here and see what it was doing at any given time. But here I'm going to go into the alert, which is actually kind of a trigger for it. So you can move these up and down to set a range for this. For instance, on this particular sensor, if I move the humidity up here, anything that goes over that, I can actually trigger something, or anything that goes under that, I can also trigger something. Right here, I'll go into the smart feature and then into automation. You can see all the different automations I've got set up for the kiln right here. So here I'll step into left heater low limit. As you can see, it says when left killed and low temperature alert, then the switch that has dehumidifier and heater on it, it needs to turn the heater on. So I deleted my left heater high limit. That way I could show how it's actually done. Right here you want to name the automation something you know. That way when you turn it on and off, you actually know what it's doing. So I'll choose device actions right here, and then I'm going to choose left kiln, the heater, and that heat alert I set earlier, it's going to actually be the trigger. So after it goes over the high limit, then I'm going to set the switch. Right here I'm going to set it, to turn off the heater. That's the device action. So this becomes high limit. When it's over that temperature, turn off the heater. Here I'll click into wet bulb, so if you wanted it to do something, you could set the alert here and then use the triggers on the outside. So a little more information on this. The hub itself is Wi-Fi, but the rest of the devices run off LoRa, which is a long-range radio frequency, which allows it to communicate at great distances through random things. For instance, from the hub to the kiln is about 100 yards, and then the sensors that are using it are inside the kiln behind the wood, so it has no problem communicating there. Also, this is just like any other IoT device in my house. I don't use it on the main network. I put it on the guest network. So if you have any questions or comments, just leave them below and I'll try to answer them as best I can. I do have affiliate links in the description, so if anybody decides to go this route, feel free to help me out.